There are new developments every week tied to Moscow's alleged election interference. We are joined now by Eleanor Clift. She is a political analyst with the Daily Beast. As always, great to see you.
Glad to be here.
Very interesting hearing what Mr. Kushner says has released today. We know there were 4 meetings, 2 with the Russian ambassador in Washington, a June 26 meeting with a Russian lawyer, and also Kushner's brother-in-law, Donald Trump Jr., we know, was in on that meeting as well. What specifically, Eleanor, are lawmakers looking to learn from these closed-door meetings today?
I think they want to know to what extent the aides to this president were motivated when they took these meetings. Were they looking for incendiary information on Hillary Clinton? Were their offers made? Was there information that was available? There is a law in this country against accepting anything of value from a foreign government in connection with a campaign, and reports could have some value. So I think they want to know more specifically what went on and what transpired in these meetings. We have now a history with the Trump White House and with the Trump campaign of 6 months in government and a year campaign, and their credibility is not that great, and they change their stories a lot. So I think this is an effort to get Mr. Kushner on record in some detail about each of these meetings.
Hypothetically, you have to look at this and say, this doesn't appear to look good for them. They had to have thought along the way, if they took these meetings, that there would appear to be impropriety.
Well, and there were other steps that Mr. Kushner took. He talked to the Russians about a secure line that he thought could be set up in the Russian embassy, which seems a little bizarre. He also was heading sort of the big data operation for the Trump campaign, and there have been some suggestions that he might have helped the Russians in their efforts to destabilize the U.S. election by pointing to them specific states where they could make an impact. You know, again, it's all allegations. Nothing has been proven, and as the president says repeatedly, a lot of this has been under investigation now for a year, and nobody's been charged with a crime. And yet the president tweets about his pardoning powers, and so
right.
He may accuse the media of taking the story too far, but he himself is spinning out a narrative to the point where he might be pardoning people.
This looks to be pretty damning for the president. I mean, obviously, Mueller has the power to subpoena documents, file criminal charges against the family members, take some of the impeachment proceedings against him. It could be evidence could be used in impeachment proceedings if that does happen. Right. How concerned should he be at this point?
I think we're seeing how concerned he is. Whenever the investigation gets close to a family member, he lashes out. And I think he will do anything to prevent his family from getting into trouble. And I think a lot of the allegations now are maybe not about political collusion, but the financial undergirding of a lot of Trump's businesses, the Kushner family businesses. There have been charges of possible money laundering. And so in this country, our experience with Watergate, there was a phrase, follow the money. And that's happening here. And Mr. Mueller will have, I assume, access to Donald Trump's tax returns.
So quickly, I just want to say, we heard Jim talking about the possible sanctions against Russia. Will this be a defining moment in this investigation, or one of them, if Trump does, in fact, support these sanctions against Russia?
I think he has to support the sanctions because there's a veto-proof majority. He would be overturned because he would not have the votes. And does he really want to fight this to the end? It looks like the White House is softening his position, and it looks like he will go along and hope that there'll be another big news event that will overtake whatever outrage people have over how the sanctions bill goes. I mean, it's like we have big story, big outrage every day, and you almost, but by Wednesday, you forget what's happened on Monday. It's rather extraordinary ride.
Eleanor Clift, thank you so much.
Thank
Always
you.
wonderful to have you.